Hey y'all, and welcome to PolitiBrawl. My name is Brian, and Hakeem Jeffries gets a full-blown civics course from Mike Lawler, and he gets triggered so much that it almost spirals out of control. This is wild. Let's dive in.
Did you get permission from your boss?
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss, Donald Trump?
You can easily extend
Did
the
your
ACA
did your
right
boss,
now.
Donald Trump,
He's
give
not
you
my
permission?
boss.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. And by the way,
So let me ask you a
why
question.
did you vote to
Let me
shut
ask
the
you a
government
question.
down?
You
Why
know
did you
I-
vote to shut
Let
it
me
down?
ask you a question.
For years, you always
Well,
lectured about how we need to
you're
keep the
making
government
You're
open.
making a show of this to
No,
make
it's
yourself
sad.
relevant.
It's sad. You could easily sign on to
You're
this.
embarrassing
You
yourself
could
right
sign
now.
on to this. The only
You're
embarrassment
chasing
here is you.
clout. You're an
You
embarrassment.
could sign on to the bill.
Let me ask you a question.
You have 4 Democrats on here.
Let me
Why
ask you a
won't you
question.
sign
Let
on
me ask
to
you a
it?
question.
It's a
Let
clean
me ask you
extension
a
for 1
question.
year.
You voted for the one big
Clean
ugly bill,
extension.
correct?
I voted for a
The
tax cut
largest-
bill that gave
the
the largest
largest
tax
cut-
cut
the
to
largest-
Americans in history,
the
including, by
largest-
the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're embarrassing
Do you
yourself right
you want
now.
to cut the standard deduction in
The
half? Is that
largest
what you
cut
wanted
to
to do?
Medicaid in
No, we
American
rooted
history.
out
You voted
waste,
for that.
fraud, and abuse, by the
You
way.
voted
Tom DiNapoli, the
for a
Democratic
permanent-
controller of New
Let
York,
me ask you a question.
pointed out that $1.2
If
billion
you're
were
gonna-
wasted.
Listen, you're not going to talk. You're not going to talk to me.
Wasted
You're not
on
going to talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over
non-New
me
York residents
because you don't
getting
want to
paid.
hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm
So
listening.
why
Go
don't you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
because you
is
showed
that-
up.
is that the way to
you
talk?
showed up. You showed up.
Yeah.
And so you voted for this one
I
big
signed
ugly
on
bill.
for this. You can extend it
A
right now.
permanent extension of massive tax breaks for your billionaire donors.
So 90% of
So
Americans.
they can get a permanent extension.
90% of
but
Americans
working
take the
class
standard
Americans
deduction.
can't? Is that right?
90% of Americans take the standard deduction.
Is that right?
If you had your way, the standard deduction would have been cut in half. That
No
would have been a
one-
massive tax increase
one-
on Americans all across the country.
You're
You support
here,
that?
unfortunately.
You're against
to do
lifting the cap on
bidding
salt?
Of your billionaire
You're,
donors.
the
That's
billionaire
unfortunate.
donors lifting the
That's
cap on
correct.
salt. We put a income cap in place.
Why are you here right now?
An income
Where are the
cap.
re- where are the
Well,
rest
didn't
of
you
your
want all
Republican
Republicans
colleagues?
to be here?
Where are
I'm
the rest?
here.
Where are the rest of your
You
Republican
wanted
colleagues?
Republicans to be here. I'm here.
Why are you
And
here?
by the way,
Why-
you can
What?
pass an ACA extension right now. Sign
your
on to this
boss-
bill.
did your boss
Sign
Donald
on
Trump-
to the bill.
Is your boss Donald Trump behind that yet?
HR 5145. Why don't you get on it?
Mike, is your boss Donald Trump behind that
Why
yet?
won't you get on it?
Because you don't work for the American people.
Oh, I do. I
You
work
don't
for,
work for
the people of New
17th
York. I work
congressional
for the
district.
people of my district.
Is that why you? Is that
I'm
why
here.
You got 145,000.
And by the way, I voted
people
for
on
a
Medicaid.
clean CR to keep the government open
Mike,
and funded.
you're-
You voted to shut it
You're
down.
embarrassing yourself right now.
Yeah, leader, with all due
Well, as we
respect,
would say
you're
back
the
in the-
one,
why you playing yourself?
you're the one
Why you
who
playing
actually
yourself with
voted
these
to shut
theatrics?
the government down.
Actually, you
It's
know
sad.
that's not true.
It's sad. You voted to shut the government
Listen,
down.
Do Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the President?
Right, and
correct?
you're smart enough to know
Is
that
that
you
right?
need 60 votes in the Senate,
Is
right?
that right? No.
Do you need 60 votes in the
Were
Senate or no?
60 votes needed to pass your one big ugly bill?
Reconciliation, which you
Was
did with
six-
the IRA,
was
and
60
boy, that really reduced inflation.
Are you,
You did a
trying to
great job
elevate
there.
yourself because you're afraid
I'm not
you're
trying to
about
elevate
lose
myself.
re-election?
No, I'm not going to lose
Let me ask you a
re-election.
question.
You spent $42 million last cycle. You didn't do that
let me
great.
ask you a question. Why aren't you running for governor right now?
Because I actually enjoy this job, and I'm here to do
You
it. And
enjoy-
by the way,
you enjoy-
you
you
could
enjoy
actually
embarrassing
pass.
yourself?
You could actually pass
You enjoy being a lackey for
subsidy
Donald
right
Trump?
now
Is that
to
right?
ensure that people don't have health care premiums going up. Why won't you support this one-year bill?
Let me ask you a question.
Tom Swazi's on it. Jared Golden.
Let me ask you a question.
Marie
Let me ask you a
Blusenkamp
question.
Perez.
Let me ask
Are
you a
they
question.
wrong?
Your
Don
other,
Davis?
your other boss.
Are they wrong?
Your other boss, Mike Johnson. I challenged him to a debate
Yeah.
on the floor. Did he send you?
No, I'm here
On
on
his
my
behalf,
behalf
'cause
of
he's
my
afraid to
constituents,
debate. Is
because
that
you
right?
shut the government down. And my constituents are suffering as a result of your ridiculous ploy,
If
because
you-
you're so afraid of Zohran Mandami. By the way, when are you endorsing him?
By the way,
do you endorse him for mayor?
First of all, are
You going to endorse him for mayor?
Listen, you're a complete and total embarrassment right now.
Oh,
I
why
mean,
is that? Because
seriously,
you don't want to answer the
is
question?
Is this supposed to be a video for your failed
You don't want
re-election?
to.
Is
You
that
don't.
what's
You
going
don't
on
want to
right
answer
now?
the question. Do you support Zohran? By the way, did you see his
Listen.
statement yesterday?
Listen.
An embarrassment on October 7th, blaming the Jews. You support that?
Are-
Should he be the
Listen,
Democratic
first of all-
nominee for mayor?
First of all, I don't answer to you. You
Should
don't
he be
even
the Democratic
answer to
mayor?
yourself.
Should he be the
You don't
Democratic
even-
nominee
I'll
for
answer
mayor?
whatever questions I need to answer about
Okay,
the
so you
mayor's
think
race,
his
about
statement
the Ameri-
yesterday was okay?
First of all,
All right. That's sad.
First of all,
It's unfortunate.
don't come with this phony
These are bills.
bill. No.
These are bills. They're not phony.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present unto you the clear, obvious differences between the Republican Party and the Democrat Party. Hakeem Jeffries was up screaming that Mike Lawler is an embarrassment. You're an embarrassment. Stop embarrassing yourself. Meanwhile, Mike Lawler goes, hey, we passed a tax cut. What's your deal? Hey, we cut out all this fraud and abuse. What's your deal? Hey, do you condemn Mandami because he said something really stupid yesterday? What's your deal? He keeps bringing the receipts, saying what needs to be said, and almost called him Cory Booker. Hakeem Jeffries is out here just saying nothing. He said absolutely nothing. The closest thing he got to a dig in this whole exchange was, let's see, wasn't the dig about, actually no, the closest thing he got to a dig was, you're going to lose re-election. Really? That's the best you can come to this fight? That's the best you can do. All right? You are in the middle of a rap battle and you don't even have the musical cues to know what to say. Come on, dude. Come on. When it comes to embarrassment, there's nothing like the Democrat Party trying to keep up whenever a Republican whips out the receipts and starts saying, hey, we did X, Y, and Z. You can't even say your A, B, and C's. Seriously, it's a bunch of word salad trying to hold on to his pride. That's pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. And you'd think that Hakeem Jeffries would do better jobs at this. Okay, the dude is a major player in American politics. You need to avoid this trap at all costs, because that's what this is. This is a trap. And he fell right into it. So on one hand, this is hilarious. On the other hand, once you realize the actual implications, it means that the Democrat Party is run by people like this? Yikes. That really is the best he can do, isn't it? And meanwhile, Mike Lawler is just out there with an entire list of accomplishments and with a list of questions that Hakeem Jeffries refuses to ask. And so it begs another question. Why do we have these discussions at all? What's the point? It is impossible to talk with these people. Okay, it is impossible to get through to certain people. There's this mental ceiling or this wall, this cocoon that encases them from the truth, because the truth can hurt. Well, yeah, when you step into the batter's box, you're supposed to hit the baseball. Occasionally, the baseball's going to hit you. It's going to hurt. You've got to step in that batter's box. You've got to do your job. And you know what job Hakeem Jeffries does? To talk a bunch of nonsense without doing anything. The job that Mike Lawler has done, talk about what he's actually done, and then tell people what he's going to do next. There's a difference in governing style. And Republicans, once they realize that, oh, we actually can use power, we actually do need to protect ourselves from these asinine liberals, we've got a problem where now we have text messages, records of different Democrat officials fantasizing about, well, some unspeakable things happening to conservatives and their children. This is now happening on a regular basis. And I think I know why. I think I know why the Democrats do stuff like this, why they talk like this. They know that rhetoric matters, and they also know that they're now under siege for the first time in a long, long time. Maybe for the first time since the House of Un-American Activities Committee. It's been a while, and we've now seen literal communism spread like cancer. And it's starting to affect the Democrats. Although we always knew that it would hit the Democrats first, the reality is, Democrats know that their rhetoric matters. Which is why they will speak in code, so to speak. Republicans, we haven't done that. We shed that off of us a long time ago. We don't speak in code. Because the people that support Republicans don't do that either. Democrats do. All right? This is again the bell curve me coming into effect. You say something obvious that sounds so obvious that it can't be true. Then you get some intellectual midwit, some raging liberal giving you this long speech of how the obvious thing is wrong. And then you get to the other side of the bell curve where you get your actual William F. Buckley's coming out and saying, no, the obvious question is obviously correct. The obvious statement is why. That was William F. Buckley. And if you don't know who that is, he was basically the intellectual grandfather of the Republican Party, or at least the modern GOP. And we've lost a couple of those guys. And it's going to be fun when we get them back. Or get new ones. And the reason I'm off in the weeds so much is because the ultimate reality of this video, and I'll wrap this up as best I can. is that your rhetoric matters. Therefore, Hakeem Jeffries is saying nothing. He is trying to be insulting without being insulting. That's sort of the game you play when you're in Congress. You don't say anything. You don't deal with any of the successes of your opponent's party. So you switch your rhetoric over to something else. But there's a problem. When you are cornered, like Mike Lawler did to Hakeem Jeffries here, when you get cornered, all of a sudden, you now realize you have only one option in your arsenal, and that is to deflect and deny, which is what's happening right here. And I say this so many times that that's what Democrats do. They deflect, they deny, because they can't run on their records anymore. They have to run on their rhetoric, and they have to run on their emotions, and America is getting burned out by both of them. Good for you, Mike Lawler. And Hakeem, come on, man. You're supposed to be smarter than this, right? Right? I think the best way to sum this up, Hakeem, you're embarrassing yourself. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. My name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on PolitiBrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Until then, y'all have a good one.